Aggregation CCA informal meeting. This is the third in a series of community presentations on this topic. My name is John Bouvier and I am a Southampton Town Councilman, so welcome to our CCA meeting. The town believes that CCA has the greatest potential to bring renewable energy into the community in a relatively short period of time, without the disruptive infrastructure improvements that might otherwise need to take place, and also to provide electric energy cost savings to the Southampton town residents. While the town continues to investigate this potential, we want to continue to inform the community and to address questions regarding this program. To that end, I want to introduce you all to Lynn Arthur, who will be facilitating today's presentation, address questions from those in attendance in Town Hall, and those participating via Zoom. Lynn will also provide resources for you to learn about CCA as you conduct your own investigations. Lynn is the founder of Peak Power Long Island, a not-for-profit business providing renewable energy and related outreach and NYSERDA program support on behalf of municipalities on Long Island, including Southampton. Lynn is a CCA program community organizer working with Dual Assets, the town's CCA administrator, to help inform and address the community and questions. Lynn?
Thank you, John. Well, I'd like to start by saying this is a hybrid meeting. After the presentation, we will take questions from those in the room, followed by questions from the chat. Those of you on Zoom can move your cursor to the bottom of the screen, click on chat, and type your questions there. Any questions I could not answer during today's call, I will seek answers to and post on the town website by the end of this month. I'd like to open by saying it's no less than remarkable what the town board and town staff has accomplished with the assistance of their CCA administrator, Jewel Community Power, and Assemblyman Fred Thiel. And a big thanks to the Long Island Power Authority for clearing the last obstacle in our path to launching a CCA program in Southampton. It's taken us 4 years to arrive at this moment whereby the town of Southampton is considering issuing a competitive bid for electricity through New York State's Community Choice Aggregation Program. If the town board decides to proceed, the program, as you will come to understand over the next 20 minutes, is designed to provide eligible residents and small businesses with the opportunity to have additional choices, including renewable energy supply at competitive prices. Yay! Which is why we decided to brand the program Choice Community Power. So what you see on the screen right now is our agenda for today's session. Instead of referring to the program as Community Choice Aggregation, I'm going to use the abbreviation CCA. CCA is a tool that enables a municipality to aggregate all residents and small businesses together and negotiate a bulk purchase agreement, in this case, for electricity. Now, that's a mouthful, so I'm going to step back and walk you through a utility bill so you can see exactly what I'm referring to, so we're all on the same page regarding what we're talking about here. Here's a typical bill from PSEG Long Island. In fact, it's page 2. The blue line is pointing to the delivery and system charges. This is what we pay for services they offer, such as billing, customer service, meter reads, responding to outages, administrative costs associated with procuring energy, and debt service. These rates are mandatory and based on how many kilowatt hours the customer has consumed within the billing period. The green line is pointing to power supply charges. The bill says the cost of electricity includes the purchase of fuel, which is oil and gas right now, mostly, used to produce electricity and electricity purchased directly. The calculation is based on how many kilowatt hours the customer consumed in the billing period, times those costs which vary each month. The power supply charges are a pass-through. Neither LIPA or PSEG Long Island are generating your electricity. They purchase it on your behalf and pass that cost through to you. Your cost is that rate, in this example, 10.5 cents times whatever you used that month. Since you don't know what the rate is going to be, and it's hard to budget or project what you're going to need to set aside to cover that cost. However, in 2016, New York State came up with a new tool, CCA, to enable people to have access to competitive rates for this one component, power supply, on your electric bill. That's what CCA is. But why? This image represents the 11 zones of electricity across New York State. Southampton is in Zone K. Each zone has a default supplier of electricity and gas. In our case, the default supplier for electricity is the Long Island Power Authority, also known as LIPA. CCA shifts the default supplier from the utility to the local choice, which becomes the new default program. This New York State Energy Purchase Program was authorized in 2016 after a successful pilot in Westchester, still running, with 27 municipalities as part of the Westchester Power CCA program. While we can't guarantee future performance, the historic data is worth noting. For the calendar year ending June 2022, approximately 250,000 customers in 64 municipalities saved $28 million in aggregate on their electric bills while greening the New York State grid with 1.5 megawatt hours of renewable energy. No surprise why CCA is growing rapidly across the state. And while CCA allows for more competitive rates, it also enables municipalities to request renewable supply. CCA enables expanded options, a choice of 100% renewable or as little as no renewable. It also enables eligible individual customers not to have to sign contracts. Strong consumer protection exists because the contract is called a tri-party agreement between the municipality, its CCA administrator, Jewel Community Power, and the electricity supplier. Instead of signing their contract, they are signing ours. We are dictating the terms, and there are no exit fees. When we go out to bid, we're going out with the aggregate usage of the entire town. Think of it as buying in bulk. Regarding the role of PSEG Long Island, when you switch supplier, the roles of LIPA and PSEG Long Island stays the same. You can still call their helpline. You still get just one bill, and you still need to pay your bill on time. Now, who is automatically enrolled? The program is designed to be opt-out. That's a new term for some people. And some people have feelings about that, and that's completely fair. But there's a reason New York State decided to do it like that. Truth is, it's the only real way it could work. When you can aggregate the majority of people, you have a large enough pool of buyers, and with that much demand, you're able to get much better pricing versus negotiating as an individual. And with that many buyers, we are also able to negotiate for the terms we want and get a competitive price. However, individuals can still opt out at any time at no charge. And opting out is easy, and we'll walk through that in a moment. With opt-out, everyone is enrolled except those listed here, who are not automatically enrolled. For example, you may already have a contract with an alternative supplier. That stays intact. Accounts with a block are not automatically enrolled. Accounts receiving benefits via the HEAP program are also not automatically enrolled. How will CCA affect me? After a competitive bid has been issued and the town board has agreed to sign an agreement with a supplier who has proposed terms and conditions acceptable to the town board, we will enter into the 30-day opt-out period, meaning individual households or small businesses can opt out before the program launches. All eligible households and small businesses will get a mailer. If you are not eligible, you will not get the mailer. It will indicate the choices you have and how they compare to rates from the utility. Choices like 100% renewable at this price, 50% renewable at that price, and ways to opt out before the program starts. You can opt out via the postcard you will receive, with a phone call, or on the website. But even after Choice Community Power program launches, you can still opt out anytime at no charge. As it relates to the timeline, well, right now, Jewel Community Power, our CCA administrator, is talking to suppliers to understand what options are out there and what terms and conditions are possible. For example, a fixed price for 2 years, a variable price that adjusts quarterly, and also, is there enough renewable energy that can be injected into the Long Island grid to meet Southampton's aggregate demand? After the competitive bidding process is completed and a power supply agreement is in place, an information packet will be sent to all eligible households and small businesses in the town of Southampton. There will also be a robust outreach and education period for 30 days and then an additional 30 days during the initial opt-out period. In summary, I hope you can see how CCA programs encourage the building of more renewable energy projects on Long Island. It creates jobs, economic development, and it greens the Long Island grid. Notice competitive rates is plural. This program will offer you choices. A rate for 100% renewable supply, another rate for maybe 50% renewable. In addition to the status quo, each eligible household and small business will have choices for electricity supply at competitive rates. And there's strong consumer protection. In addition to the tri-party agreement I mentioned earlier, the program is regulated by the Public Service Commission. And due to the 2 bills signed into law authored by Assemblyman Thiel, LIPA must comply with any changes related to CCA the Public Service Commission orders going forward. And this is why we branded the program Choice Community Power. This program will bring eligible residents and small businesses in the town of Southampton new choices when it comes to electricity supply. Okay, so I'm going to walk through the some of the frequently asked questions, and then we're going to turn to anyone in the audience who would like to ask questions. Does this program replace my utility company? No. You continue to pay your utility bill, and your utility remains responsible for delivery and maintenance of the electrical grid and billing. Does this impact the reliability of my electricity? No. The utility continues to deliver your electricity and provides the same service whether you participate in the program or not. Will this program save me money? Savings are not guaranteed. What if I want to change my supply choice? Once the program launches, you may call the helpline or fill out the enrollment change form on the website to change your supply selection, opt out, or opt back into the program with no fees or penalties. Do I have to stay in the program the entire time? No. You may opt out or opt back in at any time with no fees or penalties. Can I participate if I own my own solar panels or if I participate in community solar? Yes. You can. If you use solar power, you are still required to have a supplier on your utility bill to cover any electricity not provided by your solar. What happens when the program ends? When the contract ends, your municipality may choose to renew participation in the program. If not, you will automatically switch back to your utility, selecting your supply on your behalf. Okay, on the screen right now, what you see is the phone number you can contact if you have questions. There's also an email address that you can write to if you have questions. We have a website. Actually, we have a couple of websites. The information is also available on the town website. If you go to the town website and in the search box you put Community Choice Aggregation, not the abbreviation, you have to spell the whole thing out. It will take you to the section of the town website where this information resides, and there's also a Facebook account. So now I will turn to the audience to see if there are any questions. Anyone have questions? Okay, I don't see any questions. Charles, do we have, if anyone on the Zoom call has a question, please raise your hand. If you move your cursor to the bottom of the screen, I think there's a raise your hand icon, and then Charles will bring you into the room where you can ask your question.
I have no hands.
Okay. Well, that does it for today. Thank you for participating in today's session. Thank you again, and have a great afternoon. Charles.